Okay, my name is Tony Frazier, better known as Sleepy. Some people from Long Beach that's been around a long time. I used to be called Tony Vaughn.
Tony Vaughn, how you doing, man?
Frazier, I'd rather Frazier.
Tony Frazier. Okay, that's good, man. I'm glad you cleared that up for me, man, because I got quite a few questions for you, brother. And can you give me a time frame in which the 20s was formulated, and if you can you give me a roll call or?
No, that I can't do. Man. I mean, not that I don't want to. Yeah. I just don't want to be incorrect. I want to clarify a couple of things, and so we can go move forward.
Okay.
I left the streets in 1976, around 76. So I was gone for a long time. When the 20s and Insane started, I wasn't even out here. I was locked up. Mm-hmm. So most of my information would be secondhand at best. I have brothers. Rest in peace, my brother Killer, he was one of the original 20s. I have a brother named Chicken Swoop, Big Swoop, that was the original Insane. So my information come from them and some of my family members, and what you hear while you locked up. So when I left the streets, I was a payback.
You were a payback.
You know. And then when we're talking about payback, I was a payback, but I originally started gangbang cripping with the Compton car. When it was just Compton Crips, it wasn't really no neighborhoods, it was just Compton Crips.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't know that the Grandies really just signify a stronghold for all
the Compton Crips. Yeah.
It wasn't necessarily a gang per se.
No.
But it was just a stronghold for all the Compton Crips.
It was, like you had the candy house where everybody just gravitated to right there and then spread it out.
Right. And so who were some of those individuals
that I was with? Catnip, Blue Baby. He wasn't a Grandy though.
Right.
But people like that. Who else? Joker.
And can you give me a timeline on that, on what year that was?
I would say that was like 74, 73. Because I locked up in 76, so that was around then. I originally met a lot of guys when I went to juvenile hall, LP and Central.
So therefore, you knew Lightbulb, Aunt Malone, those guys.
Big Ant, man. Yeah. See,
Salty, Frosty.
Yeah, I didn't really meet Salty until later. I didn't really know Salty like that. But my introduction to all them guys was I used to have to fight all these guys when I was in juvenile hall because Long Beach didn't have a car there. And so I get into it with Brown, Barney, under different gangs. Right. Long Beach we didn't have it wasn't that many in jail at that time, and so I just got tired of fighting everybody, so I just chose somebody to be with,
So your introduction to cripping was in juvenile hall?
Juvenile hall.
Where were you born and raised at?
Long Beach. East side.
What year were you born?
56. 1956. March the 9th.
March the 9th. That makes you a Pisces.
I was a breech baby. I came out ready.
Where's your family originally from before Long Beach?
Louisiana, in Texas. My mother was from Texarkana. My daddy was from Louisiana.
I asked you this at the park, but I'll do a replay. When your family came out here, did they come out here because of the ports of Long Beach and Los Angeles?
I doubt. You know what? I can't really say they did because my mother and my grandma, they went to San Pedro. My daddy and his people went to Compton. And none of them was involved in the port at all. My father was a cement finisher. He worked for the union. And
I remember a lot of people though over in San Pedro working for Star Kids too.
That's when my grandmother worked for Star Kids for like 30 years.
Yeah, they was big.
So
over
she
there.
stayed in them projects out there, the old projects in Harbor City.
Okay.
You know, but all my family was either in Compton or then they all migrated to Long Beach, around the same
You know what
time.
year they migrated to California?
Not right offhand, no, I don't.
Okay, what part of Long Beach?
The east side, always been the east side.
What block did you originally land on when you got to Long Beach?
Wesley Drive.
And whose neighborhood is that today?
Like I said, see, like I told you guys before, there's nothing separate the two main Crip gangs in Long Beach. There's no street.
Just a name.
It's just the name that separates. They share everything. You know, you might have
That's
some.
interesting.
Yeah, you might have some lived on it. You know, they all stayed on the same street. And from my information, when it was really bad, it would get really bad and dark. When it get dark, they burn each other's cars up right next door to each other, and all kind of old crazy stuff.
So when did you become gang conscious? When did you understand that there was gangs in the area?
In the area, or you talking about when I went to juvenile?
Beach.
Oh, when I went to juvenile hall, that's when I became gang conscious. But as far as when I found out, we always had gangs in Long Beach. It just wasn't no Crips. We hung out together. 10 or 15 of us always hung out together. Some people call us the Gator Boys, which we wasn't. It was just a bunch of us. Like Willie was probably the oldest of us all. And so people just started calling us that, but we wasn't no Gator Boys.
Did you think that name clung or was labeled because of the actions behind Willie Gaither, or is that just something people used to identify you because they didn't know your name?
Oh, the people in Long Beach knew our names, but the people outside of Long Beach didn't. So, I think Willie just took the blunt of everything because he was the oldest. So when we started getting busted, they just assumed that he was the leader because he was the oldest. And he was our big homie, So I don't want to say he was the leader, but he was the big homie. We looked, a lot of us looked up to him. And,
Right.
When you were a kid coming up, East Side Long Beach, what was the racial demographics in your neighborhood?
All black.
All black.
All black. The majority of the time it was, as far as I can remember now, it was when my brother, I got an older brother. Now, when he was going to Poly, which is in the neighborhood, it was majority white people. But I never seen them staying in that little box area, what we call the East Side. What we call the East Side is from Anaheim to PCH, from
You photographer?
from Cherry,
Fateen.
recording.
What's your name?
That's Mac.
That's Matt.
Melle.
Melle?
Yeah, how are you?
I'm fine.
Uh,
Oh, you're doing an interview. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Sounds good,
Shit,
my man.
I was coming home, man. I don't know what's happening.
Like, who these niggas in my backyard?
from the East Side was just a small demographic. You had MacArthur Park, King Park, and the Rec. Poly High School was like the center of the East Side, what we call the East Side. Now, if you look on the map, people say the East Side of Long Beach is really where El Dorado Park is. If you know where that is, the big park. That's what really the East Side, if you look at.
I thought it was that LA River that separated you guys from East and West.
Yeah, it does. What we call the East Side. But if you look at what they consider the East Side, it starts at El Dorado.